Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Mary.
So my name is Mary Zobel, and I'm the founder and executive director of the Amazon Leadership Initiative. And I would like you to introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Carla Miller, and I'm an attorney in Florida. And I have a nonprofit, City Ethics, and I work with countries around the world to help with ethics programs.
Okay, so I'd like you to tell me your first impression when you saw our website. What was your first impression?
I was so excited to see your website. I really was. I thought, Mary is a woman after my own heart, you know, and I thought, okay, I'm going to read her website and I want to help in any way I can. And what really got my attention was the quote that your dreams are valid.
Absolutely.
As a purpose. And I thought, you know, a lot of times you just get so busy, you don't think about your dream.
Sure.
And sometimes people don't even have a dream. And if you don't have that, you can't do anything.
Sure. And so I would like to ask, and this is a message from the girls. As you know, we're a nonprofit organization, and DLE mentors over 3,000 girls in 23 African countries, out of the 55 countries, which is almost half of the countries in Africa. And immediately I told them about you and the codes, and you're like, oh my God, you know, make sure she sends us a video. And so this is based on this is based on their request, and they specifically asked me to ask you 3 questions. And the first is, what do you like the most about DRE? After reading the, you know, looking at the website, was that one thing that you would say, or the 2 things or 3 things or many things that you like?
Oh, well, there's so many. I mean, I really like the idea of a mentorship program because that's so essential. If you have leaders in your community that can adopt a girl and say, look, I'm going to give you pointers, I'm going to help you out. I think the mentorship program is good. The conference you're having in a couple of weeks, I mean, I wish I could come. Where is it going to be held?
It's going to be in South Africa, the 27th and 28th of October. So, I mean, we're open. Well, we can discuss off camera.
I know. Well, I have never been to South Africa. I would love to come. I've been invited a few times. I think having a conference and having all the girls talk with each other and get to meet friends that also have big goals, I think that's really important.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So I think I'll just let them know that they should keep doing what they do regarding the mentorship program. And I think this is going to be our 3rd leadership forum. And it's going to be our first in person, because the first and the second one we had it virtually, yes. So I'm looking forward to actually being in person with the girls. A lot of them I have met online, but I've never met in person.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to meeting them. And then the question, now this is directed to you. What are the skills or experiences that have been instrumental in your success? I mean, I told them about your name, told them to go Google you, and they're like, oh my God, she's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, she is. And so the question is, what skills would you say? Because I mean, it's been a long journey for your growth in professional, I would say, room.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I think that, boy, the skills, the first skill I think is important is getting really effective study skills, because you have to be able to learn information, to get degrees, to go to school. And so I took some courses in education and how to learn and how to study effectively, so that's good. The next is how to communicate effectively. I mean, how do you look someone in the eye? How do you get your ideas across? How do you speak to a group? You've got to be able to communicate your ideas, so the communication is really important. And then I think the quality that isn't talked about very much, but is persistence. Like, so many times I'd be working towards a goal and something would stop me. And someone would say, you can't do that. Or I'd lose something. I'd run for an office and I'd lose, and I go, you know, persistence, like, okay, I lost, but I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep pushing. And that persistence is something that you have to have. If you have that dream and you have the persistence, given enough time, you can get there. So I'd recommend a book that you can have lesson plans, you can have talks about it, but it's called Grit.
Okay.
And it's about perseverance. And so if you get the goal setting and then you get people being effective learners, and then you set them loose and say, go for it, and you're going to have some setbacks. You're going to have some problems. Push through it. You know, that's an important thing, persistence.
Thank you so much. And I think, just to reiterate, is that the message to the girls would be perseverance, would be effective communication, as that's important, and it would also be, putting your heart, whether you're academically, whether professionally, just making sure that you're able to continue to learn your skills and be open to learning. And the third question they'd asked me to ask you is, what advice would you give someone starting in their career today? And I think just to add to them is, aside the career, what about, academic? Because that's one thing that we do with the girls, is not just at the professional setting, but also academic, because we start with young girls between 14 to 29 years of age, right? So you have those that are just starting, in high school or in university, and then you have those that are maybe, starting early in their career. So what would be, your advice to anyone starting academically or professional life?
Just to keep learning and to build your strengths and to know what your strengths are. And we've done some exercises on strengths and goals and how do you have hope, because so many times we lose hope that we can make a difference. And so how do you keep that up, and how do you know what your strengths are? And I'm happy to take some of these materials and adapt them for the girls and hopefully get them over to you so that you can use them, because there's a few little things that would make things easier for them.
Okay. And I think, just on behalf of the girls, just right here, I'd like to say thank you. I did tell them also that, that's something that you're open to, is to volunteer to assist them even with the materials in terms of harnessing their strengths and their weaknesses. And that's something I know that we do at DRD is, fostering inclusivity in leadership roles, and that's something that you absolutely do brilliantly well. And just being, sitting in the, I call it the classroom, because it's a lifelong learning with you, is we've been able to learn a lot of things that has to do with, whether it's ethical culture, perseverance, or knowing your why, what and how. And I think this is something that it would be nice for the girls to learn, because yes, in as much as the whole point of me starting the organization is to ensure that the girls are able to lead, and having female luminaries like yourself who's worked the journey. And that's why the quote, is that may the women before you pave the path for that woman that you become, right? And it's just having female luminaries like yourself, mentors like yourself who've worked the path. It's easier for you to take that candle, and that was what I had in my head when I had the quote, is about a girl who, is in darkness, and then there's an elderly person who has a candle, who has a light or a lantern, and has worked the journey before, and say, what, come with me.
Okay, and so it leads, and so I'll be the elderly person that will lead, and anything I can do to help your wonderful organization, I'd be happy to.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to us. And then I think the last message would then be, what would be your message to the 3,000 girls who will be listening to you? Because definitely we're going to send a message to the girls, and what would be your message to them?
I think my message is the same as your message, which you already have on your website, which is your dreams are valid. And so many times people try to crush your dreams. And your dreams are valid, and you can get to them. It's just how clever you are on building your skills to get to them. But your dreams are valid, and I think I can't get a better message than the one that you already have on your website.
Thank you so much. It was nice chatting with you, and I'm sure, on behalf of the girls and the Amazon Leadership Initiative, I want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing to, volunteer with us. Thank you for wanting to share your materials with us, and thank you for actually going to our website, for seeing us. There's not a lot of people would have the time to go to the website, and thank you for your words of encouragement. It really means a lot to us. And to the 3,000 girls who will be watching the video.
Well, hello to all 3,000 girls, and I hope to meet you someday.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you.